Pioneer side by side, parked by the pond. We need that thing to be moved too. You can't park there. So if you're in the white Ford van with the Montana license plates, if you have a Honda Pioneer side by side and you're parked by the pond, that's off to the side of the road next to the track, the hard paved road, move it, or we'll move it for you. I would like to, I'll take a Honda Pioneer side by side. I'll just take it. You don't move it, I'll take it. Kevin Kelly joining us in the tower. We've just wrapped up a Super Mini thrashing by Nate Thrasher. Just dominated that moto. 3 to 4 seconds lap quicker than everyone else. And we'll drop the hammer, drop the gate, drop everything you've got. It's our Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award for our next division. After Super Mini, we're going into 250B Limited.
You guys were talking about it yesterday.
It starts.
Good Carson Mumford is off the gate. Well, he just put another fantastic start down. Look at that lead. 2 turns into this thing, he's already 5-6 bike lengths out front. That is a perfectly scripted whole shot and start. Yeah,
I heard some stories. Mumford, of course, on this 250F was riding at Club MX with some pro guys on 450s like Phil Nicoletti, who's a really good starter. And they said it took all the way down to the end of the start straight for Nicoletti to finally get to him. Off the gate, out of the hole every time. Mumford was pulling everyone, and then eventually the bigger bike could get him by the time they got into the first turn there at Club. So Mumford working on starts, and it's working out for him. 250B Limited, it's up for grabs. We saw a lot of the top names are in 250B and Schoolboy. So there's an opportunity here. You don't have Pierce Brown on this one, no Jalik Swoll. This is where some of the other kids could maybe make a name for themselves. A lot of the factory riders racing 250B, not 250B Limited. Woo!
Pass being put together by bike number 51, moves him into the number 2 spot. We'll get that name to you here. That's Jace Kessler out of Michigan. Jace making some moves. Carson Mumford lights out on this first lap. What a start. And the number 22 Honda rider out of California. That left-hander has a ginormous hook in it right here before the finish line. You turn, then you do about a 90-degree turn. And here comes the gang. Carson Mumford out front. Joshua Boaz on the 23 KTM is second. Jace Kessler third. Caden Palmer fourth. Colton Eigenman. This kid barely made it through the qualifying process. He was injured, limped into the regionals, and Colton now in fifth. Trey Fierro in the number 6 spot. Tristan Lewis is 7th. Oliver A. 8th. Brandon Grigor is 9th. And Ezra Lewis rounds out your top 10 early in this race. But Carson Mumford already out to almost a 4-second lead, and it's growing with every moment of this race.
Yeah, that is impressive. It's not really just a start. It's how fast he went on that lap. That's where the real credit is due. I mean, look at the lead. He's already to the end of the 10 commandments. He's on commandment number 9.
He's 11. He's added a commandment.
Wow, turned it up to 11, the 11 commandments. Boaz, Kessler, Palmer, and Eigenman. That's your top 5. Trey Fierro, 6th. But you already know that because Kevin already did a rundown. So let's focus back in on Mumford. Mumford was known as the kid on the 150 Honda for a while. Finally moved up to the big bike. Hunter Yoder, who was just racing in our Super Mini class, has inherited that machine. Mumford putting it down right now. Wow, that was nice.
Come East Coast for about 2 weeks before Loretta's. Everybody comes out with Club MX or south of the border or MTF or whatever the case may be. Seems to be working out for Carson Mumford.
Mumford, I believe, actually owns Mike Alessi's old place up in the high desert, California. So that's where Mumford does most of its riding and training year-round. You're right. Then before they come to Loretta's, you want rut practice, you want humidity practice, so they work their way east. We're going to get Mike Alessi up here in the tower a little later today after intermission. We'll have some B and some A classes. Mike, one of the all-time greats here at the ranch, so he said he wants to stop by, call a moto or two, so we'll welcome him up here a little bit later in the day. Mike Alessi.
He knows how to get some winning done here. Be interested just to pick his brain on this track and the differences. Like not that many years ago that he was here, and I guarantee you that's one of the things that will come out of his mouth. It's so different now. It's so much bigger, and it was huge then. This place has grown. It's gotten better. They figured it out.
Well, we're listening to that podcast put together by our buddy Brett Smith. It was released as Kessler and Boaz are battling it out for second right here. Boaz back end stepped out. Kessler almost got him. Oh, Kessler not giving up on it. I didn't think there was room on the inside, but he's going to try to make it. Nope, Boaz holds him off.
I had a chance to circle back with your conversation about.
Oh, look at this. They hooked into each other. A mistake for Boaz, and Kessler had nowhere to go, and they were both stopped on the racetrack. running into each other. So you see how much closer Eigenmann is now.
There is second through sixth right there in the 10 Commandments at the same time.
Yeah, so we were mentioning there's a really cool podcast. You can get it on the Racer X Podcast Network. It says How We Got Here. That's the name of it. It's a audio history of this event. Everyone from Davey and Rita Coombs and Tim Cotter, of course, to some of the people that were behind the scenes when this event first started that you may no longer know of. And he even got some of the mini-dads from 1982 as Kessler has now made that pass on Boaz. Boaz coming back. This outside line going to lead him on the, and the inside of the sand rollers, and that was too rough. Feet off the pegs.
Boaz almost goes down. Kessler finally able to nail down that pass. The number 2 spot now is Jace Kessler's, and here comes Colton Eigenmann, number 32 on his Yamaha, creeping up there. He was in 5th, now he's in 4th. He makes another pass. Where is he going to be? 3rd?
I'm not that good at the math to know. Counting backwards, very difficult. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is that how we're doing it? They still have it that way?
Way out front now. 7 seconds is the deficit for Boaz behind Carson Mumford. Here it comes. No longer Boaz. It's now Kessler.
Yep.
There's Kessler right in front of us. Boaz right behind him. Colton Eigenmann has got some company as he's just squirted around Tristan Lewis. Lewis is right there with him.
Down the long straightaway near the billboards, tracking second place there, Jace Kessler on the number 51. Kessler out of Michigan, backed by BTO Sports, O'Neill 100%, 60 helmets, Alpine Stars, Pod, Ethica, FCTN, Heisker Racing, TCD suspension, 139 designs, and Kessler Concrete. He eats concrete for breakfast. Carson Mumford on the Factory Connection Amsoil Honda. That's the amateur arm of the Geico Honda Pro Team.
Check that turnout. There are 700 lines right there. Here's another thing about the growth of this event. If I'm in my RV and I have internet service magically somehow, I can actually scout the race without even having to leave the RV because of the overhead shots, all the lines. You get to see the whole thing. It's all laid out for you. It's incredible the amount of information that's here for you if you want it.
Yeah, well, especially with that drone shot that we now have on Racer TV, as we're still watching the 22 of Mumford. That drone shot, you're seeing the ruts in the faces of the jumps, the likes of which we've never been able to see before. We never knew that was out there unless you're actually on the track, and you're right. Then you got to figure it out as you're doing it. Now you can see it before your moto. We're battling back here. Is that Boaz on the KTM? Eigenmann got him, I think.
You're right. Eigenmann moving up. He had a 204.2. Carson Mumford with a 158 on this rough motocross track. I talked to Randy Poulter yesterday. I was like, hey, man, I wanted to pick his brain about the racetrack and how those inside-outside decision makers, how that all works. He goes, it works because I sit out there all day long and I'm constantly adjusting it. We take breaks because I move a pile of dirt here. If I see it's not working out the way I want to, I don't just make a track change or make an obstacle on the racetrack and let it go the whole day. I'm going to fix it until it works the way I want to. And it is so even.
Yeah, and I know there's two things that everyone always, as an example, everyone always thinks that the best solution is to make things as difficult as possible. So everyone thinks like, oh, the racing's great when we have this gnarly heat and humidity. Actually, we're seeing better racing, I think, this week because the riders aren't as tired and they can keep battling. Second, you hear people say, I wish they would just leave tracks. The rougher the better. There is no way by the just sheer luck of Mother Nature that 2 ruts in a corner are going to be the identical speed. The only way that's going to happen is a little nip and a tuck here and there to make this track raceable. And, dude, you saw those motos with John Gruey and Barry Karsten. 2 lines in every corner, exact same speed.
They rode side by side the entire lap for a full lap, and it worked out dead.
Yes.
So you tell me this track probably races as good as any track, as you'll see, because they are constantly tweaking it throughout the day.
I do not want to hear anyone say it's tough to pass on this track.
There are 700 lines in every turn.
Yep. If you can go faster than the guy, there's a place for you to get around him.
If it's a jump section, if it's the off cambers, if it's a rut or whatever, you've got a plethora of choices to get around guys. That's a tip of the cap to Randy and the whole crew that are out there keeping this thing looking awesome. And the hook in this finish line turn, the way it curves and then it makes a hard left, it is a violent left turn.
Oh, yeah.
Here at the base of the tower.
So there's Kessler all alone now in second. He's going faster than Boaz and Eigenmann, who are battling behind him, but he's not going as fast as Mumford, who's up ahead of him. So second would be a solid performance and keeps them in title contention throughout the week. We're rolling through our first motos still here at the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Amateur National. Lucas Oil is our presenting sponsor. Got to hang out with the Lucas folks, two of the coolest people on earth, two of the coolest people. And I don't even just mean cool as in like nice and friendly. Talking about Jason and Rachel Witt over there from Lucas Oil. They're just like, if you're some company that wants to like put a catalog together of like how you're supposed to dress and look cool and act and like get the cool demo.
The whole family.
Yeah, the kid too.
The whole deal.
Yeah, they need to be in like an REI catalog or something. Like, this is how you live your life.
This is what you're supposed to look. Try to look like these humans.
Yes, yeah. Somebody should just go down. Let's get Christian Munoz down there at the creek and just take a picture of them in their camp. This is the way you want to do it.
Yes.
If you want to look cool, be cool. This is the family to watch. Now, the guy to watch right now, Carson Mumford. Mumford, real cool kid. Like I said, now rides and trains at Mike Alessi's old high desert facility. If those walls could talk.
The bars on those windows could talk.
That's right. There's some great stories as the Alessi's totally redefined the amateur racing game and took it to the next level. And it's hard to believe that there are levels above that now. That was pre-training facility era. The Alessi's are pretty much living on the road, just racing every race they could find to get track time. You didn't have places where you could just ride motos 7 days a week like almost everyone does now.
Everywhere he showed up, even if they didn't pay Honda contingency, he always had Honda contingency, no matter what. That was
really? That was the deal?
Yes, he could race on a Friday night, a Saturday night, a Sunday. They would hustle contingency. Mike was probably the highest paid Honda employee at age 12.
Yes. Yeah. Again, the
corporate HQ. Bill Cedillo made less money than Mike Alessi at age 12.
Yeah, he was taking it out of the retirement.
That's right.
Some guy in Japan, 70 years old, is still working because all his 401k went to Mike Alessi's contingency money on the Honda card.
He's working on some contingency money himself. Nice little payday. That was that left-hander we were talking about. That.
Yeah.
This track is just brutal up and over the big tunnel of love. Carson Mumford just having a day right now. 18 seconds out front of Jace Kessler, Boaz, Eigenman, and Caden Palmer. That is your top 5 250B limited as Carson takes a peek over at the mechanics board.
Now, the track is getting slower with each moto out here, no doubt. I'd say the difference is maybe 2 to 4 seconds a lap, just getting rougher with each moto. But I have to mention that Nathaniel Thrasher threw down a 156 on his Super Mini in the previous moto. Mumford's best time here is a 157. Mumford's running 158s right now, late in this one. Thrasher was running 159, 2-minute at the end of that. That's how fast Nate Thrasher was going on a Super Mini. It was about the same speed as these 250B riders.
Yeah, he's a kid that I cannot wait to see. He's always been a big guy, and his dad, if you've ever seen his dad, is huge. His dad moves
all mini dads are huge. I told you this.
Right.
All
and
mini dads are huge.
You're
yes.
Right. His dad's about
and they produce these jockeys.
And he's got these thick hands, and he moves houses.
Moves houses.
He cuts houses in half.
Yes.
Throws them on his back, walks them down the road, puts them in a new spot, gets the foundation all set up. Just hard-working individuals, and I can't wait to see that kid when he gets on a big bike. You've already heard the rumblings of when he's on a big bike, he rips.
Yeah, he must. I mean, he's he actually is not as tall as I am. We had the bet going yesterday that he was on a Super Mini, but taller than an adult. Not quite, but he was already huge on a Super Mini last year. He's even huger this year.
That's a word.
So next year when he's presumably right here in the B class and probably schoolboy, Thrasher is going to be doing some more thrashing. But back to this class, it's Mumford thrashing everybody, working his way through some traffic now.
Props to Mumford, though. He's maintained he's been right on that 158 lap time the entire time.
Yeah, not much drop off.
That can stay on that best lap time and stay within, and that's what they train for. They want their last lap to be as good as their best lap.
Yeah, I was talking to Eric Kehoe, who's now back as the team manager of the professional Honda HRC team. So Kehoe was the team manager for a while, left the rat race of traveling all the time to attend to some family things. Everybody's good now, so he's back managing the Honda team. And I asked Kehoe, I'm like, hey, when you were not here, were you watching the races? And he said, all I do is watch lap times. I'm like, you don't watch on TV, you don't read any of the stories? And he's like, nope, lap times is all I need to know. So as like a professional team manager, and Kehoe, by the way, a great racer in his own right, that's all he needs. Lap times, he can look at a chart
and evaluate
and figure out everything he needs to know about how a race was run. So that is impressive. Mumford, was only maybe a second off of his best lap here late into this 20-minute moto.
And of course, that all, the track goes away. You're having to work your way through lappers, which he has continuously had to do. Apparently, he likes the color red. He's got those Color Rush uniforms for today here for the folks back home.
The NFL Color Rush, yep.
Brian Spencer really appreciating that.
Brian Spencer, a huge fan of that gear colorway. Really likes the way it looks when he checks it out, when he sees it. So here's Mumford. He's getting hung out. He's going to knock it around this guy. Makes it happen.
It's amazing the amount of talent that's here. Like all the retired guys that have come back. Ryan Villapoto here, Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael, Jeff Emig. Tons of guys out here that come back. It's that important, that cool, that important for the brand you work for MC to come back for Calorie Line with Yamaha, Jeff Emig with Wolf Sport gear.
Really? Did not know that. Breaking news. Wolf Sport.
Yeah.
I think it's Shift, bro.
It is
Shift. Wolf Sport. Yeah, Wolf Sport not representing. They don't have any brand ambassadors.
Who would be their brand ambassador?
Wolf Sport. Some Euro guy usually.
Ken de Dijker.
Ken de Dijker. And those guys would usually have the giant chest protector under the jersey.
De Dijker did that.
So you could get the even larger logo of the terrible looking gear.
Yeah, that beautiful purple and burgundy colorway is really my favorite. And cream brown. It's like a CET seat cover.
Wolf Sport.
Technocell. Brought to you by Technocell.
Technocell. Remember when Technocell had the gripper seat that had like the waves in it?
Rigid, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. That was the hot look.
First level of skin off of you.
By the end of the moto,
right.
yeah.
It did grip.
Well, that was for drills. We don't want, as you see Mumford going through the 10 Commandments, to coach, you got to ride this whole lap standing up, and to make sure we're going to put a seat that hurts so much that you will not ever sit down.
So the Cannondale rider out in the number 2 spot here as we
Really?
revisit 1999.
Really, Cannondale.
1999. So just
Wow.
call the race in the fashion of 1999 and all the products that were.
You got to hook up with our buddy Wes Williams. I had to do some audio work with him this morning, talking about the 90s. You got to hook up with him and use that material. Okay, here it is, the 22 of Mumford. Lead is 22 seconds.
Wow.
Now that's precision. That is
He
precision.
raced the gap all the way to match his number on his motorcycle. Rex Staten now in the number 4 spot as we revisit.
What is going on? Throwback race.
People get that. What?
Yeah, why are they
Rex
throwing out
Staten's
these Rex Staten? Yep. Just an incredible battle right now with Matasevich and Titchener.
On that Rotax ATK, folks. A big motorcycle to maneuver around here.
Air-cooled. Got the disc brake on the counter shaft.
Got the Air Hammer WR400 because Yamaha just refuses to make the 500. They're just going to go with the WR400, the teal combination of teal and white.
Doug Dubach
Yep.
is on the teal and white WR.
3 gallons of gas poured into that. He can race all week with the amount of fuel that bike can hold.
But you could not make one of those 490s run right. It was impossible.
No.
No one has ever jetted one properly. It has never ridden. It's never performed well at all.
It was hard to make that bike look cool. It's like Damon Bradshaw. It looked like he was riding a KDX 200. Take that front number plate, put a regular number plate. You still know it's a KDX. It looks like a wet candle. It just everything sagged. It just didn't make sense.
Flexy, frame flexy. Bradshaw won an overall once at a 500 National on a WR 500.
So hard for that.
Yep. Why in the 80s it was called the 500 class.
Yes.
But there was like Honda had like a CR 480 and a YZ
420.
420, YZ 490.
Yes.
Just make it a 500.
They're giving you the CCs.
It's called the 500 class.
They worked so hard to shave weight. They do everything they could. Just take the 10 CCs and
I
give it
don't
to you.
understand. No, YZ 490.
Nope.
That's the way we're going to do it.
Back that down 10 cc's.
Yep.
We want to be in compliance. Kawasaki says we're going to leave a lot of room for growth there.
420 in the 500
420.
class.
Yes.
This is
Let's put
the
the
perfect
radiator up
size.
front here, right by your face, on the old Yamaha. That'll make sense.
You had to have the radiator strapped to you. The radiator.
You wore a Camelback that was radiator hosed into the bike. That's
You had to wear when they were first getting the liquid cooling, I had to work out some of the kinks.
You look like an astronaut. You know how they have the big tubes coming out? You Overhooked to the motorcycle.
To the motorcycle.
Cooling the
You were the radiator.
It would actually run an IV into your body and use your fluids.
Yes, that's right.
Centrifuge.
You were cooled. You start to boil over. Steam starts to come out.
What's wrong with you? Oh, yeah. Run a little high. He's literally got a fever. There's Mumford.
Mumford, do a little fist pump.
Be careful. Grant Langston will tell you all about that.
And Mumford wins 250B Limited. He was pumped on that one. Huge lead. He actually stretched it to 24 seconds. Kessler now coming around, looking for the checkered flag and second place. They will also see Dave Smith down on the podium in a moment. Love that drone shot. You can see the impound area.
Can't get enough of that.
No, I want a whole moto that way.
Come up here and just drone all over us.
It's a Red Bull live drone. We shot the opener for our show. Rodney and I just stood here in the tower with the drone at eye level.
That's awesome.
And the drone, I think, had an alarm going off because our drone pilot, the drone and the drone pilot were about 18 inches away from each other. And I think the drone was saying, like, I'm about to hit you. You're about to drive me into you. Here's your 250B Limited results. Carson Mumford, making Simi Valley, California cool again, the home of Johnny O'Mara. Jace Kessler, Joshua Boaz, Caden Palmer, and Tristan Lewis. Top 5, Trey Fierro, Brandon Gregory, Colton Eigenman, Noah Adams, and Eugene Christian. Top 10. Eigenman was battling for third at one point, ended up going back to 8th. So unfortunate for him, he was trying to get around Boaz for a while. And we'll let Dave Smith set it up down there at the podium. There's Mumford. And we'll crown some Moto winners in the 250B Limited class.
We have our winner, Carson Mumford, up on the podium right now. He's taking down some liquids. He's hydrating. Carson Mumford, your 250B class winner. Here you go. You earned yourself a gold medallion. Not only did he get a gold medallion, but he's also worked his way into the Whole Shot Award. He's taken the Whole Shot, the Moto. Carson Mumford, your 250B Limited winner. Carson, tell us a little bit about your race out there today.
My Dunlop tires got me off to a great start, and I knew this class would come down to the start. There's a lot of good guys, so I just put my head down and charged right away, and I ended up pulling a pretty big gap, and then after that I just managed my way through some lappers and got this big gold medal.
Sweet, you did. You got the little gold medal of the guitar for here at Loretta Lynn's Ranch. Now, who'd you like to thank for getting you up here on the box today?
My mom and dad, Amsoil Factory Connection Honda, Ziggy, My Shack's here, Goose, Lars, Schiff, Tony Alessi, Yoshimura, Dunlop, Honda, Pro Taper, Alpine Stars, Atlas, X Dubai, 60, 100%, and my mechanic Ricky and Christian, and my trainer Randy Lawrence. Thank you guys so much for putting in the effort.
You see how many people it takes to make a champion up here. We have Carson Mumford with your Bell Whole Shot $100 award, as well as your Moto 1 win. Second place, we're going to bring up on the box right now, Jace Kessler. Jace, let's step out front here. I'll go this way. You're in second place out there. Tell us a little bit how the moto unfolded for you.
Well, it was pretty good. I drove a terrible gate pick, so I was to the outside, but I ripped a pretty good start. Came out about 4th or 5th and just made a couple quick passes. And as soon as I got in second, I just kind of chilled a little bit and tried to ride my race.
Perfect. Who'd you like to thank for getting you up here today?
My mom and dad, BTO Sports, 60, O'Neill, 100%, Alpine Star, Ethica, Pod, Tim, TCD, everybody at the Real Deal. Heck, everybody I forgot. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Second place, 250B, Jace Kessler. Third place, your bronze moto medal winner, Joshua Boaz. There you go, Joshua.
We're back.
Wait, you're not back yet.
We're not?
We still got Joshua Boaz down here, third
Put
place.
the camera back on Dave Smith.
There we go. We're back on the camera. We have Joshua Boaz. Joshua, tell us how that race went down for you.
I got a good start and tried to hold on for the rest of the moto.
Okay, so you got a great start and you held on for the Moto. Anything else happen exciting out there?
In that sand sweeper on like the 4th lap, I almost lost it going on the inside, but I saved it.
You did. You kept it together. You held it together. You ended up in 3rd place. Who would you like to thank for your landing on the box today?
My mom and dad, Answer, Pro Taper, MX Matte, Black Diamond Graphics, Power Band, Bell, 100%, and City Boots, and everyone else. Thanks.
Joshua Boaz, 250B, 3rd place finisher today. Now back up to you up top, Rodney and Kevin Kelly. Or Jason and Kevin Kelly.